My goodness, I appreciate you guys joining us. Appreciate all of our new listeners that we got going out there. Certainly appreciate you guys downloading that Patreon app, and big shout out to our newest Patreon member, Matthew. We certainly appreciate having you with us, my friend, and glad you decided to join into our group. I feel confident that you're going to be glad you did with all the knowledge that we just share, just in general. Just within the group, not just me, but all of our people that get involved with us, our sponsors, and all. So. And not to mention the years of experience shared amongst all of our members. That's the way it goes. Mike Murphy, appreciate you listening, my friend. So appreciate you tuning in to us down there in the world famous Bowling Green, Kentucky area. Southern Kentucky represented, no doubt about it. Good morning, Heckapus, tuning in. North Carolina, John, Pennsylvania. Heck yeah. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I know we got other guys listening to us too as well. But hey, I hope everybody's week's going well. Ours is going good here at WLS. Katie just got back. She did a kind deed. When I say just got back into the office. One of our crew lead supervisor, Chad, left his lunch here. And she walked in this morning. When she walked in, now keep in mind, me and Colin Daniel are all here for, before Katie rolls in the morning. And none of us paid attention to his lunchbox and hat sitting on top of the file cabinet, and Katie's like, oh, was that Chad stuff sitting up there? So, and yes, it was. Yes, it was. Good morning, Corey. Appreciate you. But so she said, well, I'm going to take it over to him. So anyways, she took and delivered his lunchbox and his hat and his ibuprofen, just his stuff that he had here that was going with him that he took off without this morning. So I'm sure he appreciated that, right, Katie? I mean, yeah. Did you get a few pictures while you were over there? I figured so. Yeah, over there doing a landscape cleanup type work thing. Not too far from our shop. Like I said, just 2 or 3 blocks away. So that's cool. That's cool. A lot of wet grass we're working with in lots of parts of Kentucky, and I know a lot of you guys are working with wet grass, and we're trying to work around the weather. This week we've been very fortunate the last couple days to get a lot of work done, even though we got a lot of rain around us. We had a Monday it rained in certain parts of Louisville here where we had some flash flooding going on, and I mean it was pretty crazy. In some areas it didn't get any. It's that time of the year. I reached out to BAM this morning and asked those guys if what they thought, and they said, hey man, you're good to sometime between probably 11 and 2 for some scattered showers to be working in, but don't think it's going to rain you out. So just be isolated. So that's where their value is really good. It lets us know, hey, we're going to proceed along, right? But what it helps us know is how long do we want to try to keep track of, spraying, if we're going to go out and make lawn applications or not. So, and it's, we can let our techs know that are spraying that, hey, hey, keep an eye on the radar. We will, BAM will, and they do too, our techs. So appreciate their help on that this morning, and we'll see how that pans out. Again, it's when you're dealing with not a front rolling through, but, just pop up type shower activity. That's a challenge for them too, but we appreciate everything they do for us to help us run our business a little more efficiently and successfully during the day. So with that weather info, if you guys are looking for somebody really good for a weather source app, definitely reach out to BAM. It's simple, bamwx.com. BAMWX.com, and you can use a promo code. They give you 20% off for saying you heard them here on the Profit Circle. So here on Profit Time. So use that code. It's Wayne 20, just Wayne all caps 20. You get 20% off. So anyway, we appreciate everything they do for us, and they are not a paid sponsor here. I just talk about them because we use them and I like them, and I think they can help you with your business too, regardless of the size. One man show or big ass company, it's either way, it's okay. So sorry that slipped out of there. That wasn't very professional of me. So sorry about that. I do have my new shirt on today that we got. I told you guys about these. Kyle brought them out. We got them last Thursday, I think it was. Our shirts that are I don't know. Tell me about these shirts. Fourth of yeah, Daniel.
4th of July shirts.
4th of July shirts, yeah. So for you guys that are watching the video aspect of this, you can see it. It's we did it in honor of 4th of July. So we got our logo is looking like a flag and that whole thing. So cool, just something to be a little bit different and let our guys know we appreciate them. It's a good way to get them a nice new shirt to wear as well. Although that's one thing, we're not chinsy on making sure that everybody's into good looking uniforms. And we've done a lot of different things with uniforms. I mean, we've engaged in uniform companies at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. We kind of in and out of that. We love it and we hate it. We love it, we hate it, and so whatever you want to do there is up to you. I think John said the other day they use a uniform company, and it's a good source, man. It really is, and but we float back and forth. I mean, I'm not saying you need to float back and forth. I'm just saying we're open to ideas, and we think it's the best thing in the world for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then we go back to the old way, and then we go back to that. And so, but currently we're in this, we'll supply our shirts and basically everything but pants to our guys as we do. We're not getting any uniforms today, but I just wanted to let you guys know I am in my new shirt, and they feel really comfortable. It's like I think it's one of those wicking shirts they call them or something. But did you wear yours yet, Daniel, over the weekend or anything?
I wore it Thursday.
That's right. That's right. You had your long sleeve on, didn't you? Yep. So, and speaking of Daniel, big shout out to Daniel. He's getting his second eye fixed tomorrow. Yeah, cataract day. Yeah, he brought his glasses in this morning. He's got them in his hand right now. He's got one lens out of it. So, is that your good eye or your bad eye?
That's the one
that's fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. So and I didn't even notice his lens was out of it. I mean, until he mentioned it. But I know I just need to look closer, I guess. And so yeah, Daniel's getting his cataract. So that'll be both of them, man. Everything will be the same color then.
There you go.
There you go. So cross our fingers. So you guys cross your fingers. Your fingers. Oh my God. Oh God. Put some tape around them, Daniel. You'll look like a hockey player, Mike said.
There you go.
So yeah, Daniel is very proactive on doing what he needs to do. I'm like that. I really am. Y'all probably do not believe that, but once I decide to do something, I mean, I can hear some of you guys thinking, and certainly Jane probably laughing when I said that, but like it took me 15 years to do my hip. But if somebody tells me to do something, and I decide I'm going to do it, Russell says so as a hip guy. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Heck, because I got, once I decide to do something, or whatever, if a doctor tells me, hey, do this, do this, do this, I will follow those directions, to the T, man, because I want to make sure it's right. So big shout out to Daniel on that. And I got another shout out today that for one of our guys here, Chad, his daughter, Huckabus, and Corey, you military guys can appreciate this. She just passed. She had to take like a 5.5 hour test for. She's in the Navy, actually, Corey, as well, and she joined the Navy. I don't know, a while back now. She's been through boot camp and that whole thing, and then went to her schooling and whatever that she's on going to be on a submarine, and she's done. And God, forgive me for not knowing what it is. I really wasn't going to. I didn't even think about bringing it up till right now. But but anyway, whatever it is, she's going to be on a nuclear submarine doing something from that standpoint. And I'll clear that up for y'all. But my point is, she took a test and out of that thing, and there's Jonathan, the world famous Jonathan, and yeah. And hey, is Chad right there? Chad, what did your daughter do? I was giving him a what I was I was he just come in for a minute. They stopped by the shop to pick up some things for their next job. I, I was giving I was giving him a shout out for uh your daughter. Oh, is he there? Oh, oh, he's about to be there. All right. But anyway, it's a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing that she accomplished. And I told Chad, I said, man, I really appreciate that. And to tell her that's really cool, man. There was a whole bunch of people that did not evidently pass this. So kudos to Lexi on that. So anyways, that was a great thing, and I just wanted to share that with y'all because I know that's a proud parent moment. You're always proud when your kids accomplish something and do things. I know you guys listening to us have been through that, right? With something with your kids, and I know it's probably nerve wracking having your daughter in the Navy, but also a good feeling to know that everything's progressing along and she's doing well. So. With that being said, I just wanted to Chad, Lexi, what was that test she passed? I was sharing her accomplishment, man. Nuclear what? Oh, all right. But anyway, it's pretty cool, man. He's going to go let us know, and I know for a lot of you guys, it's like, okay, what are we talking about this for? Just because I think it's really cool. I've never had a 5 hour test or a 5.5 hour test in my life. I know, Katie, you took a lot of tests and in your masters and all. Did you have anything like that? I mean, what? She's It was like a 5 hour test. So now she is an official um, Navy nuclear operators, and so or naval nuclear operators. One of the guys that listens to us retired Navy, so he would understand what the hell that's all about. So that's cool. She's going to be under the here. Put that headset on a second, Chad. Just from a parent's perspective, do you mind? So I know he's going to cry. I'd cry too, man. So Chad, she's getting on a nuclear submarine for what, a year? Or
we don't know.
They don't tell you yet.
No.
But all right, but I know you are proud as hell of her.
So this is B school. So she graduated A school back in early spring. She graduated B school now, and then she'll go to her finals, which will last until January, mid-January. She'll graduate, and then that's an 8-hour exam. They're in there for 8 hours.
Oh my God!
And then she passes that, and then she'll get shipped straight out to. She put in for Hawaii, San Diego, and Guam or something like that, I think. And so she's probably thinking San Diego. She's going to get shipped there.
Gotcha. But Corey, guy, retired Navy guy, he said re-enlistment for her is going to be very profitable with that.
They offered her once she graduates
Oh my God, he said at least 50K probably.
So B school, she just graduated B school,
Damn.
and she's eligible for a 2-year extension for 100K clear.
Oh my God,
That's 100,000 clear. They're going to put right in her checking account.
Damn.
For
And
2
no wonder
years.
she's so happy she passed that thing, man. I'm working on that for real.
She cleared 75 for 6 weeks of boot camp.
That is crazy. That's awesome. He tax free, is it?
I don't know. Probably from the government. No.
Okay. probably not. But I don't know. Corey said it might be. So, well, hey man, I hope you don't mind me sharing that, man. I was
awesome.
proud of it, man. That's really a great accomplishment for her. And if y'all would see her too, she ain't no bigger in a minute. I mean, she's thicker now, I'm sure, with going through boot camp and all that. But
pure bleach blonde hair, blue eyes. She's all American girl.
Yeah, doing a crazy ass job now.
She was 2 years old. She was wearing princess and Cinderella dresses, and never would I have thought she'd be under the ocean,
and
serving for our country.
That's cool, man. That is really cool. So, great accomplishments, man. Thanks, man.
She's really, she's did a lot of jobs. I mean, she busted tables, she waited tables, she served tables. She worked in a dentist office. She worked in a doctor's office. She did the brain therapy for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Her mind was still rolling so much that nothing would slow it down until now.
Good for her, man. I know it's God.
She's happy.
I've known this kid since she was probably 6 or little bitty.
She was born.
Well, born, but I mean, like that day y'all were out here and she was standing there and the guy was trying to steal the trailer.
Oh yeah, when I came in,
she was little bitty then, 5, 6, 7. I don't know.
She was a couple years old.
Yeah, got out there trying to beat the trailer lock off or something. She was there, but oh my God! Well, congratulations on that. I know you and Maria are really proud of that. Hell, I'm proud of it, and it ain't even my daughter. You know, I just think it's cool that somebody is that committed. You know, I mean, it really is. So, wish her the best of luck. Did she get a little bit of break between the two?
She is going to get a little liberty, they call it. So whenever we come back from vacation, she's going to follow us back. She's going to
is she?
She's going to come home for a few days. So
good deal.
Have a little cookout and everything. And then she goes back and starts back. And like I said, she'll start schooling back and all the way up until January. And then she does her final schooling and testing in January and she'll be shipped out.
She's going to be good at what she does, man.
I'll tell you guys something. The guy that knows about the Navy and stuff. So a lot of you guys that work on stuff and put whatever part on whatever, man, you get a torque spec. And it'll tell you that you got to torque that at so many torque pounds. And then maybe even put it on a quarter of a turn after that. Well, my daughter will not get those instructions on a submarine. So what she's going to school for is to know the thickness of that boat, the width and the depth and the threads, and she has to know everything about it and where it goes and the placement of it to find out the torque specs of that. There is no instructions on that submarine.
So that's what they need to, that has got to be in their mind.
That's part of what she's learning. Yeah. Her first 6 weeks, we'll say, there in South Carolina, Charleston, she knew more about tools in a toolbox than I did.
Damn, and Chad's good.
They don't call them flatheads and Phillips.
Really?
Yeah, they're standard and something else. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Allen wrenches aren't Allen wrenches. She told me what it is and I forgot. But
yeah.
That's
crazy, man. Who'd have thunk it?
So when you come at them people and they're so sharp edge doing what they want done, that's why.
That's why they can do it.
They program them to be that way.
Yeah. Good deal, man.
I'm over now.
All right. See you, man. Thanks for talking to us about that. I know he's proud of her. So he's proud of her for sure. So, all right. Let's see. I make car parts. Could be right here with you guys in a second. All right, D. Mm-hmm. All right. So there we go. Thought I'd get Chad on there for a second, man. I know they're really proud of her right now. So they're proud of her all the time, just like you guys are all proud of your kids. anyways, hey, let's take a short break. We'll get right back on here in a second. Don't you go anywhere, and we'll be right back with more profit time right here in the Profit Circle. I got a question for you guys at spray yards. Okay. And 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 if you're riding them, I don't know that it matters, but give me some input on it, okay? Because we like I've talked about this a while, not too long ago, a little bit, but we don't the properties that we service, we're not riding. We get anything that big, we'll get somebody that's got a rider to do it. One of David Bowling will do some of that for us, or has in the past. But for you guys that spray yards and you're doing it with a handgun, okay, do you go to the back first and work your way back to the truck? I'm just curious because I was having that discussion with a guy the other day online, and he just insisted that, well, that's the dumbest way in the world to do that. He said, man, you start at the truck and spray, spray to the back corner. And the way I was taught, and this was by somebody I trusted, Mark Adcock was the guy's name. He was with Kimlawn. Now that goes back a while, right? When they were called Kimlawn. For you younger guys that don't know, True Green used to be called Kimlawn. And of course, as times changed and mindsets changed, they couldn't be going by Kimlawn anymore. So they switched their name to True Green. But anyway, Mark was up the food chain pretty well with Kimlawn. And when I started spraying lawns, he said, Wayne, I've got a couple pieces of advice for you. He said, number one is always go to the furthest corner that you're treating and come work your way back to the truck spraying. He said, the reason for that is your most effort's going to be exerted pulling the hose to the back of the lawn. He said, from that point on, you're doing two things. You're bringing your hose back to the truck, and you're not dragging as much hose, So let's see. That's hard as hell to pull the hose and spray as you go. John says, pull to the farthest point. Yeah. Just mindset. Start at the back. When you get to the back to the front, you can feel like if you got your goal. Absolutely. And so that's the only way I've ever done it. I mean, even if I was doing a front only or front and side only, I would still go to my furthest point and work my way back to the truck, and because that's what Mark told me to do. And I figured he had a hell of a lot more experience, with Kimlawn, and, as not just an applicator, but he had moved up the food chain pretty daggone good. And that's why they train their people that way. Because, everything they're thinking about is efficiency. And so I was just curious when this guy start debating this with me. I didn't let the debate go on too long. Actually, Hecapus, you made me think about that guy this morning when I was listening to Hecapus on his show. He was talking about nobody wins an argument, and I wasn't going to argue with. I don't argue with anybody over anything I talk about. Do it the way you want to do it. I don't care how you do it. I can tell you how we found works best for us, but I'm not, I tell guys all the time in seminars, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm just here to give you some ideas on what's going on. So, yeah, yes, Mike, Russ does have a show. And yes, indeed, Mondays at 8 a.m. He does a show, and it's easy to get there and listen to him. So we'll actually give me a second, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. I'll look at his text from this morning, but you just go to their website. It's dgpradio.com, dgpradio.com, and every morning at 8:00, there he is. So yeah, Monday through Friday, ding ding. So anyway, but Mike says, yeah, even in a rider, He starts at his further points and works back to the truck. So, I mean, it does just make sense, you know. This guy's like, well, man, that don't make sense. You know, you're losing production, and okay, well, cool, let's lose production, and you do it your way, I'll do it mine, and we're all good, you know. As long as you're
I wonder
comfortable.
what he thought was where the production loss was coming from.
Dragging the hose without spraying, you know, dragging the hose all the way to the back. But the idea
You would
is
drag the hose back without spraying if you started in the front.
correct.
So I don't really understand the logic.
You're
there.
not you're walking over the same turf twice, but
you're doing it either way.
But you're doing it either way. You're just going to have less drag on you if you go to the furthest point, and then you're dragging only half the hose back, right? Does that make sense? Because you're
Right.
you're
But
doubling
from his
your hose.
perspective, I'm talking about, it doesn't make sense as far as like what the lost production would be.
Yeah. I don't know, Daniel. Like I said, I wasn't going to give him the courtesy of the debate on it of the past just a few seconds, you know,
Yeah.
couple posts on it. And anyways, what teach their own, you know, that's what oh my goodness. I hear you. Heckabus says I don't spray, but I wouldn't want to walking through it as I go. I'd rather start and yeah. But teach their own, like we say. But I just wanted to throw that out there to get your all's ideas on it. But what I do want to talk a little bit about today is I went dialing for dollars yesterday again. You guys probably know this, but one of my big commitments that I've made is to try to keep our accounts receivable in better. Bless you. Keep our accounts receivable in better order. Okay. Because y'all have heard me say it before, and I'll say it till the day I die, probably. I don't know. I'm seeming to make a little bit of a change now, but I hate calling people when they owe us money. I do. I just do. My dad was great at it. It didn't bother him a bit. And actually, yesterday when I made a few phone calls, they were all positive phone calls. You know, I don't call being uh, being mean about it. It's just, hey, I'm just calling to check on an outstanding balance you got with Wayne's Lawn Service, you know. And we actually had a very productive day. Hell, and some of them got called, some of them just got re-emailed the invoice, depending on where they were at on our timeline of behind. And but it always seems to work out pretty good for us, doesn't it, Katie? I mean, you know, I think yesterday, I mean, the numbers are different for everybody, you know, but I don't know. For us, I mean, we bumped pretty good yesterday on what we collected, and had some nice conversations. One company we've been doing this was a snow invoice we've been chasing, and I think I shared it with you all last week or so ago when I was talking about this. But it was one snow invoice we were chasing from this company that's been a customer since 2006, I think. So it wasn't like, you know, they're not trying to generally beat you out of money, right? I mean, that hadn't been a problem with them. So I finally reached out to them and got a hold of somebody this time, which was that I've tried to call them since then, but I finally actually got a hold of somebody, and getting to accounting offices sometimes can be a challenge. I will say that. So for you guys that or do call or thinking about calling for some of your money on your commercial accounts, if you've got them, that can be a challenge sometimes. So it's always good to have a contact. And that's one of the things we use every year for every year we send out an update client information sheet to every one of our clients. And excuse me, it may sound repetitive, but at the end of the day, we try to get new information to make sure, okay, it's either the same person or it's somebody new that we need to reach out to. And we do that every year. We just do it every year for all of our customers. And updating really what we're really looking for, but we're looking for a lot of different things. We'll talk about that on a different show because I got something else I want to talk about today. But the point is, went dollar for dollars, and it worked out pretty good for us. So come to find out, we were hitting their spam. All of a sudden in February of this year, our emails were hitting their spam. So last time that I went through our AR, I physically made copies of the invoices and snail mailed them, even though we're not supposed to snail mail to this particular group because nothing's paid on site. And so the lady did tell me yesterday that yes, we did receive your mailed your mailed invoices. They did forward them to us, and she said, "I do appreciate the nice note that you put in there with it." So even though it was a receivable that was out since February, on snow, because I think that was our last out here, right? So all of our previous invoices have been paid. This was the only one that wasn't paid. Our system re-emails, right? And so I thought, okay, well, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. We're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to mail them there with a note to please forward to accounting for me, And long story short, and I'll keep y'all posted on it, but come to find out, for some reason, our email all of a sudden was going to their spam, so they weren't getting it. And until I sent the paper copies, they didn't know it, or that's their story. We'll go with that because, like I said, they've been a good customer. So, so that sounds like that's going to work out. They said they'd get that processed right away for you, or for us, and we'll go from there. But another thing that's worked for us is Trans World. I talked a little bit about them last time too, but we had a customer that we had to put into Trans World for some help on collection. They wouldn't pay us. They wouldn't respond to Katie over and over and over again. And so we put them in collections, and then they knew we were serious. And, okay, hey, maybe these guys are not just lawn guys. And I say that with all due respect. No, we wanted our money. So this is one of those deals where it was worth having the professional source to lean on, us leaning on Trans World to go after them. They just thought, well, they're not going to come after us for what was it, Katie, $115 or something. It was like one mow. It was one mow at this location's what it amounted to, and so at the end of the day, by the time they went to the collections, it was rebilling fees and collection fee and everything else. So, but it took them a while to respond to Trans World too. It was about 7 weeks before they got tired of the harassment they were getting from them. But we did. We got our money out of the deal, and Trans World got theirs, and everybody's happy. So it does work. It does work. So stay on top of it. That's all I'm saying. And one of our spray, I'll share one more with you guys. And I'm curious, y'all have got to have similar stories like this. You guys are, when you watch this on replay, be sure to comment on it and let me know. But and if you guys got any comments now watching live with us, let me know. But one lady I called that's been a customer, honest to God, I'm going to say this. I'm surprised she's still alive because I was spraying her yard when I started spraying. So, so she's been a customer a long, long, long time. And for her to get behind, I really thought she had passed away. So when I was making the phone call, I was really I've really expected that the reality of it would be her daughter or son or somebody handling her estate saying that she had passed away. And that wasn't the situation. She was still alive. I talked to her and I said, well, this is Wayne. I used to actually spray your yard. And the poor thing, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. She said, how much is it? She said, I'll reach out to my daughter and make sure you get paid. I said, well, we've got an email address. And she said, honey, she called me honey. She said, that was my husband's email address, even though my name's on it. And he passed away a few years ago. So, very good. It was nice to find out that she was still alive. And I said, well, we'll go ahead and get your service reactivated for you. She said, oh, yes, please do. I'll make sure my daughter gets you paid. So hopefully she does. What do you think, Daniel? What's the chances?
As long as she remembers.
As long as she remembers. She said, send them to me with a note. And that's what I did. I always put a little handwritten note on them, just to let them know it's not just computer generated invoice copy, just, hey, I'd appreciate your help, if you're getting this taken care of. So glad to have Miss Higgins know she's alive and everything's still good with her. So anyways, that's my collection story for the day. And my commitment to excellence and reworking it. But like I said, I have committed to do much better at that. And I think that's something we can all look at is, are you willing to commit to do what it takes? And not because we commit to the business aspect model, we commit to the work follow through model with the professionalism on getting the work done. And, like I always say, man, don't be scared / intimidated / ashamed or think, well, they're going to think I need the money. I do need the money. You need the money. We all need the money. I mean, we did the work because we wanted to earn the money and the profit dollars involved with it. So, take the time, make the effort, and collect it. It's yours, man. It's yours. You've earned it. So, with that being said, let's take another short break. And
every week on Profit Time, we share valuable insights, but what you're hearing here is only a fraction of what's inside the Profit Circle Pro membership. Pro members get exclusive training, webinars, blogs, meetings, and a growing library of content built to help lawn and landscape business owners increase profits and build better companies. Don't stay on the sidelines. Upgrade to Pro and unlock everything today.
Yes, indeedy. Upgrade to Pro. It's a pretty simple process, right, Daniel?
Very easy.
Very easy. How they go about doing that?
If you're already a member of the Profit Circle's free tier, you just got to go in and upgrade your membership to the Pro tier, and that's it. And if you're not in the Profit Circle yet, if you're maybe watching this on YouTube, very easy to get involved with the Profit Circle. Just go down into the video description, click the link, take it to the Profit Circle, sign up, get in, join us. Like, we're talking about, you can listen as a free member, become a Pro member, transition when you're a free member, can try it out as a Pro member, 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, you can transition out, just become a free member just to listen in. There's endless options, endless opportunities. Very easy to do.
So the point is, you can always listen to us free here on Profit Time. It's absolutely 100% free. But if you'd like to get fully engaged in the Profit Circle and take advantage of all those opportunities and with your peers across the country and Canada, feel free to do that as well. I want to talk a little bit about watering techniques today, since we are rolling into the time of the year when we're going to be starting those renovations, a lot of us. And I know warm season grasses, that renovation time is done earlier than it is in the fall with cool season turf. But I think really what it boils down to is educating the client is the key to success. I mean, just because your clients have an irrigation system, and this is where it took me a while to understand, and I thought, okay, well, good, they got irrigation, we'll be okay. Just because a client's got irrigation doesn't mean everything's going to be okay. It doesn't mean their system's going to be set right. Now, are we taking care of an existing lawn? Are we taking care of a renovated lawn? Because the watering is going to be different for both of those. And if you don't know that, you need to understand that well. So for you new guys, it may be getting into the renovation aspect of it, and you've done a few but not a lot, and you're wondering, well, why aren't my results as good as they should be? People talk about this not being that hard to do. And it's really not hard to do. It's just having the right plan in place is what it amounts to. So I've made myself actually a couple notes on things I want to be sure to talk about with this as it relates, to watering. But whether it's warm season grass or cool season grass, watering doesn't change. It's the timing does. The calendar changes is what changes, because if we're renovating warm season grasses and, when you're in a transition zone like we are here in Kentucky, now I know some of you guys up in the Northeast are like, well, I don't even fool with warm season grasses, and that's okay. Know that, but if you get into an environment that does, like we are, and you get into part of Indiana and Kentucky and some of the East Coast, Tennessee, there's certain regions, Missouri, where you are dealing with it's a broader scope than that, but that's just where you're in a transition zone where you can grow both. Know that the requirements for the turf grass are generally the same as far as, hey, what's Mother Nature like to have on her grasses, whether it's warm season grass or cool season grass. What changes is the time of the year that we try to increase that density and fertilize. And we're not going to get into the fertilization side of it. Maybe we can get Stephen West on here with Sigma Organics to talk about that side of it with us a little bit. But today, specifically, what I want to talk a little bit about is the watering techniques. And I know for us, Katie does a great job of educating our clients, even if we're not doing a renovation, on summering, the water habits that are required specifically in this time of the year, from that June to September timeframe for us. Because other than that, Mother Nature's generally taken pretty good care of giving us the amount of water we need in a timely manner. But certainly when we do renovations, we have to have our customers help. They've got to do one of two things: either have an irrigation system that we're going to tell them and how to set and why we want them to change off of whatever cycle they may be on. And that's why I always say, just because somebody has an irrigation system doesn't mean they're going to be successful. It means it's going to be a better opportunity for them to be successful, because what can they do? They can go and set that irrigation system to run on the frequency and length of time that we want it to run for a newly seeded lawn. And you look at established lawns, and it's backwards, if you will, from what a renovated lawn wants, right? I mean, that's just the reality of it. A newly seeded lawn, we want to do a more frequent but less volume of water, because we don't want too much water going down at any one time. Where if we have an established lawn, we're better off going less frequently, but watering for a longer period of time, because our root system's already established. We're trying to encourage a deeper root system, and frequent watering on an established lawn can establish a shallow root system, which brings its own set of problems along. But that's why it's important that if you're doing renovations, you probably already have this, but if you don't, come up with we call it a care and maintenance sheet that we give our customers. And we give it to them 2 or 3 different times, actually. We give it to them when they sign up for service. We give it to them when we do the service. When we're going around doing our renovations and seeding, we'll give them our crews will leave a copy with them and give them a copy, along with a measuring a rain gauge, because people say, well, how long do you want me to water? Well, we can't tell you 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, because everybody's water pressure is different. So we give them a rain gauge and we say, hey, water until you get about a 1/4 inch or 1/3 of an inch, depending on what time of the year we are, how hot it is, how much evaporation we're trying to guess at and adjust for them. But we leave them that rain gauge so they can get a baseline to know, hey, with my hose and sprinkler system, I got to water about 30 minutes twice a day at least, or 3 times a day if possible, and that's why also something that we do is we will suggest that they let us either bring a timer and install it to their spigot so they don't have to go out and do it, okay, and a couple hoses. And that's something that we started doing in the last few years for people, that they appreciate the fact that, hey, me and y'all will do that. Well, yeah, man, we'll sell it to you. You buy the timer and you buy the hoses. I mean, we'll go get them for them. It's all time, right? We'll buy it. We'll bill it. But hey, if you want us to get a timer and some hoses for you, we'll set it up. Then all you got to do is just leave your spigot on, and it's taken care of. You'll be surprised how easy of an upsell that can be for you when it comes to lawn renovations. And you're controlling the water. You're controlling the frequency of the water. You're controlling the amount of water, because the thing with newly renovated lawns is like I said, we want more frequent watering, but not a huge volume of water, because we're trying to keep the ground damp but not soaked, because we don't want to rot that seed, or we don't want to float that seed out of that channel, if you will, that we've used that power seeder to cut that groove in and get it in. So timing is very critical to that, and a lot of people will say initially, well, I want to get it done, but I'm not going to be able to water it. And that's the reason, again, that, we tell people it's right in our terms and conditions that we're not guaranteeing establishment. So if you don't want to water it and you don't want us to set any watering up for you, that's fine, but we're not guaranteeing germination on it. We can't, we're not guaranteeing germination, because we can't control what we can't control. And that is all we can guarantee our customers is we're going to come out there with the right equipment, the proper knowledge to do the work, and we will set you up with a hose and a timer if that's how you want to do it. Or you can set your watering up on your own schedule. But here's our care and maintenance direction that tells you the frequency of the watering, about how much water we'd like you to put on it each time. Here's a rain gauge to catch it. Okay, we even give them the rain gauge, and this is how it's going to be successful. And part of those directions and that education also becomes, the fact that about when to mow it. And I mean, we're not going to get into a lot of that today, because we're not, this in the mowing aspect. This is how do we water, our lawns. But it says, hey, you're going to have uneven growth. Different spots are going to germinate it better or worse for whatever reasons. But we want you, once we get up to about 3.5 inches in height, we want you to mow it the first time, even though it's all not in. Because what we found, what the consumer generally wants to do is wait too long for the grass to get too long, thinking, oh, it's getting healthy, it's getting healthy, it's getting healthy. And then all of a sudden you got a 7 or 8 inch plant out there that's got a root system 1/4 inch long underneath it that it's trying to support, and it's just harder on the plant. So if we can continually begin cutting at about 3 inches for cool season turf, right? If we start that cutting process at that point, then we're promoting better root development for that plant. So that's all in the care and maintenance directions that we give them. Okay. And then timing, on our renovated lawns as well, we're doing it 2 or 3 times during the day. When it comes to timing on an existing lawn, then, hey, we're going to want to water less frequently, but deeper. Okay. And general rule of thumb on that is about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water for cool season turf and for warm season turf. But, there's factors that get involved in that too. And that is, hey, are you in a heavy clay soil like we are in the Southeast, right? I mean, we got a heavy clay soil. So we have, if we're putting too much water out we're going to have a runoff issue where somebody with less clay in their soil or sandy loam soil, where they're going to get better penetration, they're going to be able to do it with less volume, right? Because the water is going to soak in better. So those are the little things we need to know, and always remember that the goal is, moist, not muddy. That it's just that simple. Moist, not muddy. And if any of you guys need a sample or would like to see the sheet we use, I'd be happy to send it to you guys. Let me know. I'd be happy to get it out to you, and you can look at it and adjust it as you want to adjust it. But we found that it really helps on callbacks to us. We used to get a ton of callbacks. Now we just get some calls from people saying, well, my yard's coming in irregular, or I'm not sure how much water I'm putting out. So that's why we thought, okay, let's tell them what the frequency is. Let's give them a way to catch it in a rain gauge. And that way they can know that, hey, I need to run my sprinkler for about 40 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is based on the water pressure in their area. And know that, hey, if we're in the fall dealing with cool season grasses, or even warm season grasses in the spring and early summer, if it's really hot and dry, we're going to have to allow for some evaporation. Okay. So know that, the hotter it is, windy weather is going to dry it out faster. There's a lot of little factors that can come into play with that. So know that the reality of it is, the best results and your best success on watering is going to come through direction that you give your customers first, and make sure they get more than one copy, because, when we were doing it just one time, we weren't having great success. But they said, well, no, I don't remember getting that. So, they get digital copy, they get a printed copy, and they get more than one of each of those. And we found that has really significantly reduced our callbacks. Number one, they appreciate the fact that we care enough not to just sell the job, that, hey, it's more than just selling the job. It's, hey, we want this to be successful for you too, and I think that's very important. And when your customer knows that you care about the success and more than the sell, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? That means that they're going to be more loyal to you, and that customer may be more willing then to say, okay, hey, I'm going to switch over and have you guys maintain my property for me. And it doesn't happen with everybody, but we do get a lot of people that will convert to our fertilization and weed control program when we explain to them what our process is on the renovation, and that, hey, and the way we explain to us, hey, just give us a year on our fert and weed program. That way we can time the products. We know what products are going down on the lawn. We know the rate they're going down on the lawn, and that's going to give you a better opportunity for success. And I can honestly say off the top of my dome that I don't know that anybody that's actually switched to us after a renovation has canceled after a year and said, hey, man, you got my yard in great shape. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to ABC company. They normally just won't make that transition. So we try to make it an easy transition for them, saying, hey, you're going to the expense and spending the money to get this thing killed out and renovated. Just give us a year of the lawn applications on it, and let's see where your lawn looks, and we'll go from there with it. And most people are very receptive to that. Like I said, we don't have 100% conversion on it, but we have a pretty good percentage rate of conversion with it. And, once we get them on our hit list on the lawn side, and then what does that lead to? Well, that can lead to then lighting, landscape lighting, holiday lighting, mulching, trimming, landscaping, so all of that is all part of our business model. But from our customers' point of view, it's all about caring about their lawn, which it is. It's all about the success of their lawn, which it is, because we want that to be successful for them. but we want to turn that into long-term loyalty is what we want to turn it into. So, just as a summary before we hop off here, yep, loyalty is important, but on the watering strategy end of it is, just remember the warm season, cool season, doesn't really matter. Mother Nature's requirements are about the same. About an inch and a half of water a week is what she likes. And know that for new lawns, you increase frequency, but decrease the volume. And then once it's an established lawn and it's grown, it's been mowed 4 or 5 times, then you can start in with your fertilizer that you want to use and that boost that your normal lawn care people aren't going to get. But it all boils down to the watering after the service is as critical as the products you use, the techniques you use, and the knowledge that you have to get it in the ground. Because without the water, the plant's not going to survive. And without the timeliness of the water, the plant's not going to thrive. So know that the if there's any trick to it, if there is, the trick of the trade, the only trick of the trade is know that it needs water, and your watering is going to be 100% different for your renovations than it's going to be for your established lawns. Educate your customers. They'll be happy for the education. At least you can feel good knowing that, hey, you've told them, you've not only informed them, but you've given them something to, whether it's email, paper, or both, that, hey, how to take care of this. Yes, we appreciate the fact that you've spent all this money on this renovation, but we want it to be successful for you. And what we know the right way to make it successful is certainly with proper watering techniques. So hope that helps. If anybody needs a set of care and maintenance directions as a template, be happy to send it your way. Comment, let us know. We'd be happy to send it your way. And appreciate you guys and have a great day. And remember, profit is not a dirty word. We'll see you on Friday.